There are days when everything goes absolutely according to plan, and this particular Saturday was one of those days. So the chap that's selling the barn, his house or his parents' house, the land behind the barn, etc. His name is Michel, and he was having a Vide Maison on the Saturday and the Sunday to sell off anything and everything that was in his parents' house. And I was wandering around chatting to people, and I looked in the garage, and he had various power tools, but I saw this cordless drill up for a mere €10, complete with charger. And I thought, wow, that's got to be had. Handy addition to my toolkit. One tiny sad bit to the day was my Worth gloves finally gave up the ghost after many months of good hard use. But they're superb, these gloves. They just seem to go on and on and on forever and ever and ever. And they're not overly expensive. They're very lightweight. They're comfortable to wear because you can kind of feel the materials you're dealing with, unlike certain gloves where you lose that sensation because they're so thick. But yeah, these are terrific gloves. I cannot recommend them enough for anybody that likes to get their hands dirty or not get their hands dirty, as the case may be. That was the only slight minor downside to the day. Other than that, we had, because there's Vide Maison, there's loads of people turning up in and around the town. And various people turned up at my house and started posing questions because they could see me perched on the roof. Here's a sort of section of the roof that, as far as I got on the end of Saturday, so I'm quite pleased with that. And there's a guy that approached me, and him and his son, and he said, "Oh, I can see you've got all this sort of stuff lying around in the garden. Would you want to get rid of it?" I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "Well, we would happily take away whatever we can find that might be useful to us because we recycle, and we'll do it free of charge." And I was like, "Whoa, okay, crack on, the space is yours." And he said, "Well, we'll come back in the afternoon." And then he said, "Do you like cider?" I said, "Yeah, I love cider. I used to live in Normandy. Who doesn't love cider?" So he said, "Oh, well, I'll bring you some bottles just to say a little thank you." So him and his team turned up on the Saturday afternoon and started clearing out all the old crap from the barns, a lot of the a lot of the white goods that were in the garden, etc. And here's an example. Here's a few examples of the bottles of cider that he gave free of charge. And he's going to be returning on Thursday with more free bottles because there's still loads more stuff to take. And he took I mentioned to him that there were the adult rated DVDs and stuff and videos in the garage, and he said, "Oh, well, by all means, we'll take care of those for you." So they cleared all that out as well. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. So it was just a terrific day. And plus the drive back, because I finish on a Saturday evening. I finished around about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I drove back to Paris, and the drive was nice and calm, not too much traffic on the roads, and it was I just thought, wow, what a fantastic day! What a fantastic day to be alive. Um, and also the one of the guys that was looking, just while I remember now, one of the guys that was looking round at the Vide Maison had a look round mine, and he found an old sort of little metal frame, and he said, "I'll give you €5 for that." And I said, "It's a deal. You can, by all means," because as far as I'm concerned, anything that was in normally when you buy a house in France, it comes emptied. But because I bought from the state, that didn't happen. So I've got all this stuff which shouldn't have been there anyway. So whatever I can gain from it, I'll gain from it. So €5 up, a nice drill for €10, loads of free bottles of cider. What's not to like? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.